Hi dear children, good morning. Hope you're all safe at home. And here we are going to continue the lesson. Hope you remember where we have stopped the other day. We have stopped with the part 2 Shahnai of Bismillah Khan, and we've reached till the 7th paragraph. And here I'm going to read the 8th paragraph. Listen to me. Paragraph number 8. Bismillah Khan has given many memorable performances both in India and abroad. His first trip abroad was to Afghanistan, where King Zahir Shah was so taken in by the maestro that he gifted him priceless Persian carpets and other souvenirs. The King of Afghanistan was not the only one to be fascinated with Bismillah's music. Film director Vijay Bhatt was so impressed after hearing Bismillah playing at a festival that he named a film after the instrument called Gunj Uti Shehnai. The film was a hit, and one of Bismillah Khan's compositions, Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya, turned out to be a nationwide chartbuster. Despite this huge success in the celluloid world, Bismillah Khan's venture in film music were limited to two: Vijay Bhatt's Gunj Uti Shehnai and Vikram Srinivas' Kannada venture Sannadhi Appanna. It just can't come to terms with the artificiality and glamour of the film world, he says with emphasis. And here let's see the new words. Taken by, meaning attracted or charmed by. And another word is souvenirs, things given in memory of a place, person, or event, something like a gift. And another one is chartbuster, a record breaker. And another word is celluloid, old-fashioned way of referring to films. Then venture, project that often involves risk. Okay, last paragraph we were talking about Bismillah Khan. When we got independence, Bismillah Khan was the first person to greet the people in the country by playing Shehnai. Now let's see in the 8th paragraph, it says about his foreign trips and the tours around the world. And let's see which was the first trip. The first trip was to Afghanistan. He was invited by King Zahir Shah of Afghanistan, and there he played such wonderfully that the king and the entire kingdom were pleased by him, his music, and that he was gifted with priceless Persian carpets and other souvenirs. Which means he was really being greeted by the people of Afghanistan very well, and they were really enjoying the music of Shehnai. Bismillah Khan was really being admired as a gifted person, a talented musician in the country Afghanistan also. Other than that, he's turned into the world of movies also. But as it is very sure that Bismillah Khan wanted to go deep into the world of music and not floating on the top of music, he could not continue with it. He himself says the reason in the coming words in this paragraph. Let's continue with it and let's see how many movies he is partnered with. The first movie which he was partnered with is Gunj Uti Shehnai, and this movie was directed by Vijay Bhatt. It was giving importance to music as Gunj Uti Shehnai was concentrating into the world of Shehnai and all. And in that movie, Bismillah Khan composed one song, and the song is Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya. This song was really composed by Bismillah Khan, and it was such a wonderful song which people accepted with their hands and their minds. Here I am adding the first part of this song, the famous blockbuster song Dil Ko Khilona Hai Toot Gaya.
खिलौना हाय टूट गया दिल का
he could do concentrate upon only one more movie, and that was Sannadi Appanna. Hope you understood how many movies he was connected with. Only 2 movies he was connected with right now. One is Gunjuti Shahnai and the second one is Sannadi Appanna. Why he was not able to concentrate upon movies too much? Because the film songs, as you also know, they are not concentrating upon in the music part very well. They are looking into the enjoyment part only, and Bismillah Khan was always stick with the musical part. He wanted the music to be live always. He was not going with the entertainment part. Those who can enjoy the music from their heart, those people actually Bismillah Khan was aiming at. So in that sense, he was not able to go with the musicians of the film industry, that he could not continue after those 2 movies. But he was such a wonderful talent that he was going on with his trips throughout the world into the different parts of the country and world. And in Bismillah Khan's own words, he says that he could not adjust with the artificiality and glamour of the film world. That was the only one reason he was telling why he could not cope with more movies. And now let's see the next paragraph. I'm going to read it. Listen to me. Paragraph number 9. Awards and recognitions came thick and fast. Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to be invited to perform at the prestigious Lincoln Center Hall in the United States of America. He also took part in the World Exposition in Montreal, in the Cannes Art Festival, and in the Osaka Trade Fair. So well known did he become internationally that an auditorium in Tehran was named after him. Tahar Musiqi Ustad Bismillah Khan. And here in this paragraph it says that awards and recognitions started coming behind him soon after he started performing for such wonderful areas. So that here in this paragraph it says about some wonderful invitations which he got to have such beautiful performance, to show his talent, to make the people enjoy with his talents. The first one was in the prestigious Lincoln Hall in United States of America, and then the other one was the World Exposition in Montreal, and the next one Cannes Art Festival, and then Osaka Trade Fair. All these fairs invited him to be a part of the program and to make a performance. So which shows it very clearly that the entire world was recognizing his talents, recognizing him as a musician. And all these things, apart from these all things, his name was known internationally, that one auditorium in Tehran was named after him. And the name of the auditorium is Tahar Musiqi Ustad Bismillah Khan. Can you imagine an Indian person getting an auditorium named on behalf of him in Tehran? It's not very easy, right? But Bismillah Khan's talents were accepted internationally. It was clearly proven by this incident. Now we're going with the paragraph number 10 and 11 together. Hope you see this. Paragraph number 10 is a very small one, so we can go the 2 paragraphs together, I think. I'm going to read. Listen. Paragraph number 10. National awards like the Padma Shri, the Padma Bhushan and the Padma Vibhushan were conferred on him. Paragraph number 11. In 2001, Ustad Bismillah Khan was awarded India's highest civilian award, the Bharat Ratna. With the coveted award resting on his chest and his eyes glittering with rare happiness, he said, "All I would like to say is, teach your children music. This is Hindustan's richest tradition. Even the West is now coming to learn our music." Here in this paragraph, the new words are conferred, given, usually an award or a degree, coveted, much desired. Hope you read the 10th paragraph. The 10th paragraph says about the awards Bismillah Khan got from India. The first one was the Padma Shri, the second one is Padma Bhushan, and the third one it says about the Padma Vibhushan. All the three awards were won by this great talent. And the 11th paragraph it says about some other recognitions and awards came to Bismillah Khan. The first one mentioned here is the Bharat Ratna, the highest civilian award. He received this award in 2001. Please remember these awards and the date of Bharat Ratna also. You may have to answer these questions in the one-word answers. And here in this paragraph, Bismillah Khan says, you must teach your children music because that is Hindustan's tradition and culture. You know, even Western people are coming here and they are learning music and learning our culture. So in that case, why could we be far away from making our children learn our culture and our music? That's what Bismillah Khan asked us. Now we'll continue with the next paragraph. I'm going to read the paragraph. Listen now. Paragraph number 12. In spite of having travelled all over the world, Khan Sahib, as he is fondly called, is exceedingly fond of Banaras and Damron, and they remain for him the most wonderful towns of the world. A student of his once wanted him to heard a Shahnai school in USA, and the student promised to recreate the atmosphere of Banaras by replicating the temples there. But Khan Sahib asked him if he would be able to transport river Ganga as well. Later he is remembered to have said, "That's why whenever I am in a foreign country I keep yearning to see Hindustan. While in Mumbai, I think of only Banaras and the holy Ganga. And while in Banaras, I miss the unique Mata of Damron." This paragraph, the 12th paragraph, says about the likes of the most beautiful cities which Bismillah Khan loved in the entire world. You know, he traveled a lot of parts of the world, right? He was there in United States of America and he was there in Afghanistan. So he traveled throughout the world. From there, if people are asking which is the beautiful city which he felt, he will have only one answer, and that will be Banaras and Damron. Banaras, you know, it's recently named as Varanasi, and Damron is in Bihar. This was his birthplace actually. Damron was his birthplace, and he loved those two cities. You know, one of his students once was ready to set a Shahnai school in America, and he wanted Bismillah Khan to head the school. The student promised that he will make a new Banaras in America by replicating the temples there. But then Bismillah Khan asked me, "Can you take river Ganga there?" That was something wonderful, no? Taking a river from one place to another. That was the thing. Because he had such deep intention. Keeping something, making a model, it may be possible. But at the same time, making the culture and creating that lifestyle, all those things are entirely difficult, right? We may be able to replace the buildings, the constructions, even the dressing style also. But our mind, that will not be coming into the reality. That's what is the thing. That's what Bismillah Khan meant there. He was telling that wherever he go in the world, his mind was very keenly wishing to come back to Banaras and Damron. Whenever he was in Mumbai and whenever he was in other parts of India, he wanted to come back to Banaras. And when he was in Banaras, he wanted to go back to Mata Damron. That was his birthplace. And he wanted to stay a long time with River Ganga. Those all things show that he had such a deep attachment towards India and Indian culture. And in this paragraph, it says that he was always called as Khan Sahib with love by other people. Lovingly, people were calling him as Khan Sahib. For example, our first Prime Minister of India was called as Chachaji by the children with love, right? Like that, here people called Bismillah Khan as Khan Sahib with love. And now let's go for the next paragraph, the last paragraph of the lesson I'm going to read. Listen. Paragraph number 13. Ustad Bismillah Khan's life is a perfect example of the rich cultural heritage of India, one that effortlessly accepts that a devout Muslim like him can very naturally play the Shahnai every morning at the Kashi Vishwanath temple. Now let's see the new words. Devote. Believing strongly in a religion and obeying its laws and following its practices. In this paragraph, it says about something really controversial. His life was devoted to music only. Music and music only. And can you imagine a Muslim playing a musical instrument in a Hindu temple? We may have cultural conflicts, right? But that was nothing happening there. You know, for a very long time, it was Bismillah Khan, born as Muslim, playing Shahnai in the Kashi Vishwanatha temple. You know, Kashi Vishwanatha temple is one of the very important and prominent temples in the Hindus religion. And there, can you imagine a Muslim person playing a musical instrument? It's not very easy for us to imagine. But that was the reality, that people admired him for his quality and his value and the deep dedication in music, so that he was given the chance to play Shahnai in that great temple. On 21st August 2006, at the age of 90, suffering from a prolonged illness of aging, he left us, he passed away. And all the contributions he has given to the entire world, he was really respected for those big contributions, and that one day of national mourning was declared after his death. Can you imagine? He was not an internationally, means he was not a very popular person related to the Indian history, but at the same time, he's given a lot of contributions to the world of music and to the Indian traditional culture, right? So that was the one and only reason why he was given such tribute from the heart of the country. Now we'll go for the exercise part and I'll explain it to you. Listen and complete those exercises. In page number 25, the first exercise is about thinking about the text. Let's see what we have to do. You have to complete it using the correct option given. The first few I will do and you have to do the rest of it. The first sentence I'll read. The dash was a ready noisemaker. Which one was a ready noisemaker actually here? Whether it was a Shahnai or a Pangi? Yes, of course it was Pangi. So that is the right answer there. Like that you have to complete the other answers also. Now I'm going to just read the answers only. The second one's answer is a barber. And the third one's answer is professional musicians. Fourth one's answer is Alibux. And the fifth one's answer is Afghanistan. In page number 25, the second exercise is to check your understanding of the text. Some words, some phrases are given here. It says about the feelings of Bismillah Khan. And you have to tick whether the feelings are positive, negative or neutral. The columns are given here very clearly. You have to see the columns. See all the feelings given here in the boxes and tick the correct column according to the understanding of your lesson. In answer the following, first 5 questions were discussed in the previous class. Now we have a few more questions. We'll see the questions and we'll discuss the answers here. The first question, 6th question is, why did Bismillah Khan refuse to start a Shahnai school in the USA? The answer is, there in the 12th paragraph, you can see it there, why he refused to be the head of a Shahnai school which his student was planning to start, just because he never wanted to miss the culture of India, the tradition of India, his mother country, and more than that, he never wanted to miss Banaras and Damron. Most prominently, River Ganga too. And the 7th question is, find at least 2 instances in the text which tell you that Bismillah Khan loves India and Banaras. The answer of this question also comes in the 12th paragraph. The first instance is whenever he is asked about the wonderful city in all around the world, he'll have only one answer, and that will be Damran and Banaras. And the second instance is when he was asked by one of his students to head the Shahnai School in the United States of America. He refused it just because he will miss the culture of India and the tradition of India. These two instances shows his love towards India and Indian culture. Now that's all about the question answer part. We'll continue with the exercise part now. The second exercise in page number 26, we have already discussed the first 4 answers, and I'm going to say all the 6 answers right now. The first answer is the royal residence, the second answer is solitude, and the third answer is indispensable, fourth answer is invent, fifth answer is effortlessly, and the last answer is thick and fast. The next exercise in the language part is to tick the correct answer. I'm going to read the right answers for this one. And the first answer is lives again. The second one's answer stopped. Third one's answer welcomed it. The fourth one interesting. Fifth one find it good and useful. And the sixth one for the second time. And the last one no longer upsetting. Make sure that you are noting down all these answers and ticking them correctly and writing them in your notebook. In the dictionary work, you are asked to find out some special type of adjectives. And in the first part of this, it says about 2 adjectives. One is auspicious and one is overjoyed. And it says that some adjectives can be used both with a noun and with a verb. But at the same time, some adjectives are used only with a verb. It cannot be used with a noun. And here you are asked to do in the next page, there is a table and some adjectives are given here. Look at the adjectives given here and find out which column is suitable for it. Whether it is only suitable for a noun, whether it is only suitable for both a noun and verb, or whether it is not suitable for a noun. That's what is you have to do using a dictionary. Find out it with the help of a dictionary and complete the table. Only the first one has been done for you. The next one is a speaking exercise. Here what you have to do is imagine that a famous singer named Kishori Amankar is going to visit your school, and you have been asked to introduce her to the audience before her performance. And here you have to do 2 works actually. The first one is read the paragraph given here about Kishori Amankar and prepare a note on the main points about a few points given here. The points are her parentage, the school of music she belongs to, her achievements, her inspiration and awards. Now I think you are clear about the first task. You have to prepare a note based on the 5 points which are mentioned in the text itself. And for that, the basic reference note is given here in the text itself. That's what is the first exercise. Now comes the second part, that is the speaking part. Using all these notes which you have prepared, prepare a speech introducing this great musician into the imaginary audience, and this part you have to send to me as an audio. I hope you are clear about it. The second part you have to send to me as an audio. Okay, that's all about that exercise. Now we'll go for the next exercise. This is a writing exercise. If you work hard and know where you're going, you will get there, says Evelyn Glennie. Hope you do remember this quote from the text. Evelyn Glennie listens to music without hearing it. Now we'll continue the question. You have now read about 2 musicians, Evelyn Glennie and Ustad Bismillah Khan. Do you think that they both worked hard? Where did they want to go? Answer these questions in 2 paragraphs, one on each of the two musicians. Here what you have to do is there are two questions given here. Developing those two questions answers, make two paragraphs. One paragraph about that the experience of Evelyn Glennie and another paragraph is about that of Ustad Bismillah Khan. Hope you are clear about it. Okay. Hope you understood it well, and I hope you are clear about all the portions which we have discussed here. If you have any doubts, you can talk to me during the live interaction, and those parts we will be clearing at that time itself. Hope you enjoyed the class. Thank you. Have a nice day.